All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today, How to Generate Leads and Boost Sales with 3D Animation. My name is Elizabeth Bolton. I'm an account manager with Pink Square. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. So if you have any audio issues, please use the chat and I will do my best to troubleshoot for you. This webinar will be available as a recording within 24 hours of today, so you're welcome to share it with a colleague. Feel free. Our presenters today will be Pink Square founders Thomas Sugar and Martin Anderson. Together, they have about 30 years combined experience with 3D animation, digital production, and growth marketing. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Thomas, and he can get going. So go ahead, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Laura. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming today and for showing up. Yes, just very quickly, as it says, we're specialized in marketing of technical products, and we use through digital channels and premium visual content, and more specifically also 3D animation. We've been around since 2005. We've done around almost 1,000 projects. We're 9 people in the team, and as you probably saw on the world map, we are located in both in US, in Scandinavia, and South America. If you guys have already made use of 3D animation and or you're considering it because you think it makes sense for your company or for the kind of product you have, then you're definitely not alone. The manufacturing sector is the second biggest, has the second biggest share of the global 3D animation market, and actually, it's also expected to be the one that grows the fastest over the next 7 years. Let me see here. So our approach, first of all, we think it's really important to highlight, and before we start talking about how to use 3D animation for lead generation and for sales related activities, then, to define how we differentiate between the two. Essentially, it has to do with something with time. In the top part of the funnel, where it's about awareness and partly about discovery, it's very much about capturing people's attention. While further down the tunnel, you have more of people's time when they're getting to kind of the purchase decision part. But that kind of also requires more of you guys in terms of making the best use of that time. So it's about capturing attention, top of the funnel, lead generation, and closing sales is very much about engagement. So talking about lead generation, there are a lot of stats around about how people's attention is dropping and how difficult it is to get people's attention. This Microsoft study from 2015 says that it's kind of dropped by 30% from 2000 to 2015, and God knows where it's going to go over the next 10 to 15 years. So there's just kind of an increasing amount of noise, and it takes more and more effort to stand out. So also from our own perspective and in our own experience, some years back, the average animation we created for customers or clients would be 2 to 3 minutes, and now the majority of the animations we do, they're kind of 1 minute or less. Here we go. So in many ways, video is still a great way of capturing people's attention, and it's a very effective way of communicating. There are many stats supporting this. One of them is like that video on a landing page, it can increase conversions by almost 80%. And as I said, there are many other stats supporting that. But as you probably also know from yourself, we probably watch less and less videos from beginning to end, and demands are constantly increasing to kind of the quality of the video and capturing people's attention and basically communicating in the most efficient way in the shortest period of time. And kind of that's where we think that 3D animation is kind of unique, especially when it comes to and it especially often does a better job than video when it comes to technical products. First of all, you have limitless possibilities and there are no physical restraints or limitations. You can go inside machinery. You can show stuff that physically isn't possible with the live video. And also, you don't have human beings or hands or what people look like or background distractions, or you're noticing whatever the eye catches. So it means it becomes very, very, very focused. And very often you can communicate in seconds what takes minutes with video. We have kind of this little video demoing that. Just show this for a moment. Here we go. So basically, this shows what you can do with 10 seconds in hold on, what happened with that? Here we go. What you can do in 10 seconds with animation. Basically, the guy's still fumbling around with the screws, and the animation tells the whole story just very smoothly, very efficiently in about 10 seconds. It's only 10 seconds, so I'll just show it one more time. So hopefully that makes a point. If you go back to the presentation, so basically for using 3D animation for lead generation, we think there are a couple of really important points. First of all, it's know your target segment, short and sweet, and really important. The third one is like pick your USPs, your unique selling points. Don't be greedy. We generally say 1 to 2 unique selling points. Don't try to squeeze in 3, 4, 5, 10 in not for capturing people's attention and for generating leads. When it comes to sales, we've done hundreds and hundreds of 3D animations over the years using kind of what we call a regular video format, and which have been used for sales related activities. And no doubt that works in many cases, but passively viewing a video is not as effective in converting leads into sales as if you can engage your leads or engage your customers or viewers. So what we're kind of increasingly doing with customers is that we take a 3D animation and we split it into pieces, or basically chapterizing it. So that this way we kind of, first of all, it becomes more engaging, but we essentially create a sales tool. So instead of just passively watching it, for example, a 2-minute video, you get them to click through it. And that is more, that's a higher level of engagement, but it also separates the messaging into points, which is just a more efficient way of communicating, and a point comes across more efficiently. Also, it creates a flexible format, which works better for sales presentations. So, whether customers are clicking through it by themselves or watching it by themselves, or whether you have a salesperson kind of going through it with a client on a call, it's much better way to interact during the sales presentation or sales call than kind of trying to ask people to pause the video or the animation at certain places. And if they watch the whole animation, then some points are going to go missing along the way. So interactive modules have an even higher level of engagement, at least for now, just due to the fact that you don't see them as often. And Martin, I don't know if you can get on stage. We wanted just Martin, who's a co-founder and partner and head of production, to just kind of show a couple of the things that we've done over the recently. I'm just going to mute him.
Hi, everybody. Let me just get the right screen. I think it's here. And do you all see my screen now? All right. I assume you are. hang on. There we go. This is an interactive module. It was actually created for a sales exhibition in Berlin, but the sales exhibition got cancelled because of Corona, and the client he wanted to have a tool where they in web sessions could go through different features of their product. This one, for example, has a lot of small hotspots where you can see relevant information. We have an animated segment here. Oh, that was the wrong one. Here we go. Where you can open up, and here we share pictures, we share information and video. This was a video that was made after they realized that they couldn't do the exhibition. Then they needed a bit more information. Then we made this small sort of introduction video that explains how the cooling in these systems work. But the sales people here have used it a lot to great success, and we're going to build more. Let me show you a couple of others. We have this Danish producer of drains. And it's a complex system. They were sort of trying to explain to people how it works. You can zoom in. You can you can't really interact with it. But in the next example here, I will show you some interaction. This is a Danish artist that has created this community greenhouse, but the big selling point is that you can design it however you want, so you can go in and colorize here different elements and so on, so you can personalize these things. This technology, we take the 3D model, we basically convert it to code that is that we are able to show on the internet. We can do fairly complex animations in here. So for products that needs a bit more interaction, this is a really useful tool. It's fairly easy to create, and price wise we are sort of in the same range as a similar animation would cost, but it gives you the options of having your clients interact with the product. We are restricted a bit in how complex things we can do here, but it's a fairly new technology, and it's moving fast. Yeah. So, you're welcome.
Going back to the presentation, so basically, a lot of this stuff, both the 3D animation and which can then also be used and converted to interactive solutions and sales solutions, that basically it's reusable, and we really kind of try to make that point and push that across, that it can be used in so many channels in so many ways, only with sometimes with fairly easy with fairly basic conversions, and that is great for the return on the investment. So basically, the key takeaways, what we want you to leave with is that we think it's really important to separate lead generation and sales, even when using and producing this kind of content. For lead generation, obviously, make it short, focus on one or two USPs, and then get them into the funnel. And for sales, we think it's important that it's engaging, and also that it's flexible, because the sales process is not always, the situation in which you might use it can also differ. And also to kind of remember that, once we create a 3D animation, we can easily convert it into these different types of solutions for different purposes and channels, sometimes even for instructions, and that again is great for your ROI. That's basically it from us. I don't know if there are any questions. If there are at this point, just please write into the chat. And if not, reach out if you want to discuss anything or if you want to brainstorm with us on ideas you might have. Let's give it a moment. Yeah. Laura?
So thank you everyone for joining. We will be sending out the recording. Oh, it looks like we're getting in a question from someone. Okay. What is the process when it comes to create an animation final product? Good question.
Martin, can you take that? Yeah, I think.
Yes, can you still hear me? So yes. Most of you will have a 3D model already of your product for production purposes. We basically take that model, we clean it up for animation. Together, we'll sit down and map out the storyline we want to present. Then the first sort of deliverable from our side is what's called an animatic, which is a rough animation in gray tones where we just look at the framing of your product and the various animated part that we are doing that correct. We will meet with you, discuss that, refine it, and in the meantime, our lighting department will create a couple of renders from the 3D animation to show you the final look and feel. We will meet, discuss that, refine that, and then we go into the rendering process where our computers are spitting out the images that eventually is going to create the animation. And when we have that done, we go in and add the on-screen text, music if you want to, voiceovers, and so on. So the process generally takes three to 4 weeks, depending on the length of your animation and complexity. So I hope that answers your question.
Great, and we can send out some more information on that so that you can read it on our website. We have what's called a brief creator, and you can actually click through and sort of get a good overview of that as well. Are there any more questions? I'm not seeing any, so I think we're good, Thomas. Thanks again, everyone. Does anyone have any closing? Oh, hold on. Let's see. What is the software that will read the final product? Is this something that we have access on internet?
The delivery that we give you is a video file. You can put it on YouTube. You can put it on your website. You can use it wherever you want. It is basically like any other video you would record of your phone or other device.
Video file format. So that's the final product. I guess obviously maybe when it comes to the sales solution though, and the interactive solutions, that would be web-based. So if it's so all depending on what technology you use for your website or which backend you have, we could help you deliver it for that as well. But then we'd probably liaise with whoever's responsible for your website.
Actually, when we are delivering the 3D interactive modules, it's not platform dependent. Okay. It's a jQuery code that you can add to your website. Doesn't matter if you're on WordPress or whatever you have for your hosting. So.
Yeah. You're very welcome.
Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, everybody. And I think you will get a link tomorrow with the whole presentation and the webinar in case you want to share it with anyone or watch it again.
Take care.
Excellent.
Stay
Thanks,
safe.
guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.